You know, there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Variations of this phrase are, don't try to reinvent the wheel, or keep it simple, stupid, the KISS principle. And I feel like big corporations that make product for consumption by the masses seem to be missing this point. Case in point, Apple computers. Remember back when Apple, I give this example all the time, when Apple decided they wanted to reinvent, quote unquote, the keyboard experience. You know, the keyboard on your laptop, the thing you use probably 70 to 80% of the time to interact with your computer. Remember that thing? Apple said, you know what, we're gonna reinvent the keyboard. And what did they do? They made a worse keyboard. And I feel like this is something Hasbro, a company like Hasbro, needs to really take in, because they keep trying to reinvent the wheel. The most egregious case as of late has been the way they've treated Dungeons and Dragons. Oh my God. Can you talk about a fireable offense? It's like, we've seen what happened with Bud Light, right? Like, Anheuser-Busch probably fired that poor woman who made a terrible choice, made a terrible judgment. But she's just the vice president of a brand. There's a difference between a vice president of a brand and the CEO of a company making so many bad decisions and allowing so many bad decisions to come about inside of his company. This dude is Chris Cox, yeah. He needs to be fired. Like, this dude's got to go. Hasbro apparently is going to be recording a loss this upcoming earnings report. So all you people who own Hasbro stock, you might be prepared to be seeing some losses, buddy. And you know what? Well deserved. They've completely crapped on D&D, which then carried over to the movie, which was, according to my one friend who saw it, it wasn't that bad. It's just that no one was in the movie theater with him and his wife. No one was there. It's just the two of them. And that should tell you everything you need to know about the way Hasbro is being run. This is ridiculous. And, you know, you don't have to believe old DrunkenPrime. You don't have to believe me. How about we go to a source? How about we go to Market Insider, and they can tell you exactly what's going on with Hasbro. This article is from Matthew Fox. Magic the Gathering remains a key risk for Hasbro stock as collectors grow cautious on investing in new card sets. No freaking duh. You basically crapped on all the people by re-releasing rare cards. You basically created cards that nullified a vast majority of the other cards. Like, it's just a mess. It's just an overall mess. It reads, Hasbro stock faces challenges as its Magic the Gathering franchise, as underperformance and growth remains a real possibility. The bank highlighted ongoing headwinds for the popular card game after Hasbro flooded the market with a new wave of new card sets and themed releases last year, arguably diluting the value of the card game, known for fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars for ultra rare cards and testing the loyalty of fans. Does that sound familiar to all the collectors out there? Does this sound familiar? I feel like this has been the model for everything else going on with this company. It continues. There's a lot of wallet fatigue, Brooklyn-based Action City Comics owner Eric Lagaccia said, told Insider. In order to be competitive, you want the latest cards. And the cards you just spent a lot of money on are now obsolete. Does that sound familiar? That's and it's that wallet fatigue. We're going to talk about that in a second. That could hurt the sales growth of Magic the Gathering going forward, according to Bank of America analyst Jason Haas. Now, let's stop right there, because this is pretty much where I'm going to jump in for all of us in the action figure collecting community. See, they're going to blame the economy for their bad choices. They have no choice. They're going to blame the bad economy. They're going to say it's wallet fatigue, the economy's bad, inflation and all this. They're going to blame all these things. Here's the thing. How can you blame wallet fatigue and inflation on bad QC? How can you blame wallet fatigue and inflation on using terrible materials? How are you going to scapegoat that? That doesn't even make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to does that make sense to anyone? Because wallet fatigue is BS. It's BS, and we all know it's BS. But the article continues. While engagement in Magic remains solid, stores and collectors have been more cautious to invest in new products. In other words, they're not buying your stuff. Let's just call it what it is. They're not buying your stuff because you overpriced it and you've diluted the market. You destroyed the market. Sound familiar? We continue to see modest declines in prices for reserved list cards, while prices for more recent releases have held up okay. In other words, price gouge. Price gouge. Haas expects Hasbro's Wizards subsidiary that publishes Magic cards to report first quarter revenue growth of just 2%, half the 4% growth rate expected by consensus. In other words, they're losing money. and once again, this is going to impact us because they're going to have to compensate for this one. This is their big money thing. This is their big bank item. This is it right here. Because think about it. The card sets, thousands upon thousands of dollars. There are people who are known over the years that have paid probably $10, $15, $20,000 on cards and sets and boards and specialized boards and all this other stuff. This is their cash cow, and they're blowing it. And this only means the rest of us will suffer because of their terrible decision making. If you noticed that this article, if you read between the lines here, you're starting to see some very interesting patterns, because take a lot of this article, insert your franchise that you like. Insert Marvel Legends, insert Transformers, insert G.I. Joe. Take any of these Power Rangers, take all of those, insert them, and you'll see what's going on between the lines. The best part about it also is that Hasbro's expected to report losses when they do their earnings report. They're fully expecting to. Everyone's expecting them to. And it's a modest loss. It's like 1 cent a share. But how many shares do they have out there? Because I know the bros are going to come out there. The bros. They're going to come out there. They're going to come out swinging. It's only 1 cent. I'm like, okay, it's only 1 cent. But how many shares do they have out there outstanding? If they report a loss, those dividends, you don't get any dividends on losses. And then add on to that the fact that their Dungeons and Dragons movie absolutely flopped. Oh my God. They had like a 4 or 5 day window before Mario dropped, and then Mario wiped their ass, handed them their ass. Oh my goodness, wipe the floor with them. Oh my goodness. So this is what I'm talking about with this company. This is a company that is in turmoil because their leader, their CEO is an absolute moron. He's making moronic choices. And that's why they're going to continue to go downhill. I fully expect Hasbro to be in the red the entire year of 2023. And there's only so much you can blame on the economy, because your shareholders, your big shareholders, are going to come back to you and say, hey, okay, we understand the economy is bad. We understand you cut jobs to save money. Okay, that's great. Why are we still not seeing a profit? They're going to say, why aren't you cutting prices on figures so people can sell, so you sell more? And then Hasbro's response is going to be the next thing we're talking about: limited runs. You know, a friend of mine and I were talking about this video from Nerdzoic about Hasbro supposedly moving to limited runs on figures. So he's like, just buy the figure. Like, as soon as it comes up, just jump in and buy the figure, because Hasbro's going to do limited runs. And I get it, because I'm assuming this is coming from like stores like Target and Walmart, all the partner stores who are like, dude, you're giving us all this stuff and it's on clearance, and we have to clearance it out because we have to get ready for the next wave. We have to get ready for this. And you know, the same way I think they got rid of the closed off boxes, just because. It wasn't because of us. It wasn't because of us complaining. No. It's because Amazon and Target were tired of getting returns with swap figures, because they can't take it back. They can't. It's not like they can take it and resell it. You know, the stuff swapped. It's swap. You know, the figures that are promised are not there, and so people were going crazy on fig swapping. But the fact that none of these companies are going to be able to see the core issue is that you're not getting good quality product for your money. So you raise prices but lower quality. You raise prices, give us less in the box. You raise prices, and why? We're basically getting recolors over and over and over and over again. So much so that when you introduce a new mold and introduce a new something different on a figure, we all lose our minds. We're like, oh my God, they made new Spider-Man bodies. Little did we know that those Spider-Man bodies are going to be every Spider-Man body for the next like 7 years. They're going to milk those molds until they fall apart, and then they're hopefully going to come out with new ones. Yeah, that Shriek body, that Vulcan body, oh yeah, those are going to be milked. like imagine a big fat cow, and then Hasbro comes in and says, we're going to milk this cow. The way they milking these molds, that cow is dead in a week. like there's no freaking way that cow survives. Like, that's the way. That's what's going on. This company is so lost because they're losing what made them popular: good IPs and appealing to the customer, not the shareholder. See, once you kind of reverse those two, and I've said this many times, when you reverse those two, problems happen. When you cultivate a relationship with your fan base, with your people who actually pay for your product, when you cultivate that relationship, you make a ton of cash. But if you put the shareholders before the collectors, before the people who invest in your product, then you're going to fail. And this is just the beginning. You can blame the economy all you want, bruh. You can. That's fine. Blame them. Blame the economy. I don't care. It's not the truth. Just listen to the fans. Nobody wants to listen to us. They want to listen to the yes men. They want to listen to the suck ups. They want to listen to the shills. They don't want to listen to us. They don't want to listen to the core fans. Honestly, I was telling my buddy I have a business with. I was telling him, I said, I've learned a lot doing YouTube. The first thing I learned is that if we ever go into, expand the business and ever grow it to like some kind of ridiculous rate, I'm not going to listen to anyone who has 3, 4, 5, 600,000 subs, 1 million subs, stuff like. I'm not going to listen to them because they're on a different level. I don't want them. I want the core people. I would listen to anybody with 50,000 subs and under, seriously, because I feel like those people, they get it. They're still at the core of the fan base. And that's one thing I've learned doing this. Cause this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy that this keeps happening and they're not learning their lesson. Learn your lesson. Be better. Oh my God. So hopefully Chris Cox gets fired soon. Hopefully old girl who's running Wizards of the Coast, she gets fired soon. And hopefully they replace them with rational people. We know they won't because, Hasbro got a Hasbro. But hopefully they get a Tim Cook. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they get a guy like that or a gal like that with that mentality of people first, shareholders will reap the benefits after we put the people first. Hopefully they get the people who get that order. Anyway, with that said, let me know what you think in the comments. Is this something you were privy to? Do you even care? Are you fine with the price hikes? Do you care? Does this make any sense to you? Or are you don't care? You probably you don't care. You just like, whatever, I'm just gonna buy the product anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, with that, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, make sure you check out that community tab. That's where I post any sales, any pre-orders, and any restocks that I come across while searching the World Wide Web. I'll put a link to that in the description. Also linked in the description is my Amazon affiliate link. If you need to buy anything from Amazon, it's pretty easy. Just click on that link and buy away. And Amazon will pay me a small commission for everything you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And it's a great way to support the channel. And I really appreciate it if you do that. Anyway, with that, be safe, be good. And this is Drunken Prime, cracking open another beer and signing off.